You think you're covering the middle in doubles, but you're not. Even strong 4.0 players like these recent students make all 4 different mistakes that leave the middle wide open, so unless you're already a 4.5, I promise that you're guilty of them too. Let's jump right into the first mistake, but make sure to stay for the 4th because it's the worst one of all. The first big way doubles players leave the middle wide open is by transitioning from defense to offense way too soon. Here's what I mean by that. Right now, the serve is going into the service box, and I'm on a defensive net position back by the service line, while my opponent is in an offensive net position up close to the net. Watch the timing of when I transition. I'm waiting and watching my opponent like a hawk to guard the middle from his potential attack until I know the ball is making it past him. Then I'm going forwards to attack, and my opponent slightly is going back to defend towards the middle. This actually isn't even the thing, but he could be moving much further to protect the middle, but he's not doing that. But here's the real big problem. When he hears the ball get hit behind him, look at how he's already walking forwards, and the ball has not even come close to making it past me. Here's full step number 2, and now he recognizes, oh crap, Ian's getting the ball. By now, he's already transitioned up to offense, which puts him far away from the center of the court, which makes it very easy for me to attack and put the ball between him and his partner. I see this mistake at all levels of doubles, and it makes the game way too easy to win for your opponents. The second big mistake that opens the middle wide open is not covering the actual center of the court. Here's what I mean by that. Here's the literal middle of the court, right in the middle, and that works as long as the ball stays within this red box. But as soon as the ball exits that red box, you have someplace to go because the middle between you and your partner is getting stretched. Here's what I mean by that. Look at the starting position of this player and this player. Now, as my serve goes in the box, watch how the returner moves 1, 2, 3 steps away from the middle. He's traveled this far off the court while his partner has moved in this direction. So the literal middle of the court is right here, but unfortunately the distance between the two of them is now this, which means the actual center between these two players is somewhere more like right here. And guess where the ball goes? This return doesn't get put cross court, it goes to my partner, and the ball goes right to the center in between those two players. It's critical that you keep up with your partner, and if you do not move with them, you will leave huge open targets and make winning super easy for your opponents. The third way doubles players leave the middle open is a tricky one, and I see this mistake so often. The return of serve here is a lob. Now, normally, the ball is going to travel cross court on return of serve and go back to me, and this player's direction of movement would make sense in that case, because if I'm hitting the ball right here, then this player's net position would put him right in front of where I'm hitting the ball, which would give him opportunity to cover his alley. It would also give him opportunity to cut towards the middle and intercept the ball. So it puts him in the way of my potential shots. But the ball's not going cross court, it's going down the line. And watch how I run all the way over here while this player stays right there. So he's opening up a tremendous amount of court for me to hit. Another way to think about this is look at how much space is to the right of that net player, probably about 80% of the court, and how much space is he covering to the left? Imagine me hitting this forehand right now. How could I possibly pass him over to the left? He's guarding about 2% of the court real estate over to his left. Meanwhile, 80% of the court is open to his right, and that gives me an unbelievably easy target. I'm just blocking the ball right in the center of that gigantic semi-truck sized chunk of court, and he has absolutely no chance to get involved. Plus, as I'm getting ready to hit this shot and I'm switching with my partner, look at how, even if I wanted to try to hit this spot over here, my partner is blocking. He's like setting a pick in between my position and that extreme angle. So this player's net position honestly is completely useless. And the center between him and his partner is completely uncovered, which again makes it very, very easy for me to hit just a casual shot down the line. No worries, and we can stay on the point and scrap and win with no pressure from that net player. All right, here comes number 4, and as promised, this is hands down the worst out of all 4. And by the way, if you'd like to see the step-by-step drills that I took these players through to fix all 4 of these problems, let me know in the comments down below so you can start actually covering the middle like you know you're supposed to. This team is getting ready to serve, and when you're the serving player's partner, the goal is to balance yourself between 2 responsibilities. Yes, we want to be cognizant of the alley, but we don't want to cover all of the alley, because if we stand over here and shut down the entire alley, it comes at a cost. And that cost is it removes us from reasonable ability to be involved in the center. And it's always a bad trade to cover a very difficult target in exchange for leaving open a very, very easy target. So watch how from the start here, this player's position is pretty good. With a big step, he could cover some of the alley, but not all of it. And with a big step this way, he could be involved in the middle. This is a good start. But as the ball goes traveling towards the box, watch how he takes first 1 hop to his left, and then as I get ready to swing, he takes another big hop to his left before he even knows where the ball is going. By the way, this is the first point we played the whole day. So this is not out of some response of like, oh, Ian's burned me down the line like 5 times. I can hear the thoughts in your head. I have not tried a single shot down the line. In fact, I didn't try 1 shot down the line in the whole set that we played together, but he has a habit and instinct to hop towards the alley. And now from this position, with 1 full step, he's got all the alley shut down. But look at the trade-off. An easy ball right over the center of the net. He has no chance of getting there in time. You can see him looking at it longingly, wanting to be involved in the center, but it's not possible with this habit hop towards the alley, which so many of you watching have when your partner serves back behind you. Now here's the same player at the net when his partner is returning serve. This is the second game that we played together, and as his partner hits a pretty standard cross-court shot, I want you to watch the habit here as he trails towards the alley and makes 1 final hop to have this like so unbelievably shut down. Here's the thing. I know getting burned down the alley is embarrassing. I know it feels terrible when it happens. But you know what feels more terrible? Never, ever, ever being involved in the center and making your partner cover 80% of the court while you shut down one of the toughest, lowest percentage targets. If this is your habit, and right from the get-go, you're overcovering a difficult target and leaving exposed an easy target, winning at doubles is going to be an unbelievably difficult uphill battle. I hope seeing all 4 of these big problems exposed has been really helpful. If you want to see the step-by-step drills that I went through with these players that you can follow at home, let me know in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching today. Keep up the great work on your game, and I'll catch you in the next video.